The measure of a person's success is not the height he reaches at the top, but his ability to recover when he hits rock bottom. Adversity is the ladder of advancement for genius, is the baptism of believers, is the priceless treasure of talented people, is the bottomless pit of the weak. What I say may be hard to hear, especially not easy to receive, so remember to watch to the end to grasp ancient education. Greetings to you and your friends. What is called adversity, or the ability to face adversity. A story to help you understand what is IQ and adversity. My uncle's eldest son, my cousin from elementary school to university, academic performance, always very good, very intelligent, very bright. He is also very sociable with relatives and friends around. Everyone likes him. But after going to university, because my uncle and aunt divorced, he completely changed. He returned home, did not visit relatives, and his academic performance also plummeted. School call let my uncle said that his son always skipped school every day, just stayed in the internet cafe playing games. My uncle was very angry and asked why he didn't study properly. My cousin said because the divorce of the two made him feel very frustrated, so he didn't want to study anymore. Look at this, my cousin from elementary school to university, his academic performance was always very good, showing that his EQ was very high. He had a very good relationship with his relatives and friends in his hometown. Everyone liked him, showing that his AQ was also very high. But after going to university, due to family incidents, he became very depressed. This shows that his inverse trade was very low, so we can see a person with high IQ, high EQ, but if the inverse trade is low, then basically encountering a little obstacle will collapse. This also explains why in society there are many people with high education, but their career is chaotic, even can only rely on family just because the inverse trade is too low. A little obstacle and pressure has stepped back, has become depressed. 3 types of people face with the adversity of the person who gives up. The camper, the mountaineer. Life is essentially climbing a snowy mountain. There are always 3 types of people. The first type is the person who gives up. They feel the mountain is too high, they can't do it, so they give up. The second type is the camper. They climb halfway, they feel like that's fine, so they say they don't want to climb anymore, just put running here, it's good here. The third type is the mountaineer. They have climbed very high, but they don't want to give up, nor do they want to camp. They want to climb to even higher peaks, so they choose to continue climbing in society. There are also these 3 types of people. Some people give up on themselves, feel that they don't have the education or background. Something is their fate. When faced with the adversity that life brings, they choose to give up immediately. The camper are those who have achieved some success in life, earned some money, then feel that they are doing very well at the present and can start enjoying life, become leisurely and no longer seek progress. The result is that if they don't move forward, they will fall back. Mountain climbers are people who have been very brilliant but do not stop and still choose to continue climbing. For example, Mr. Vong Thach of the Vang K Group, a businessman so successful, he still chose to study at Harvard University, and when he was 60, he still chose to climb Mount Everest. Time and time again, like Mr. Trudoy Kien, even though he was over 70 years old, he still chose to start a business, founding TrueCam with an annual revenue of up to several trillion. Or the most legendary old lady in China, No Tang Min, 71 years old, released from prison, worked as a toilet cleaner, waded through the river and became a billionaire at the age of 81. These people are models of mountain climbers. When they face adversity or favorable circumstances, they do not choose to stop but continue to move forward. So, consider yourself, are you the type of person who gives up on camping or climbing for the last time? I talked about this topic. A boss told me, he said that I was very right, he said in a study session at the company. As long as he proposed a new reform plan, there are always good types of people. 10 people very agree, love this new plan. 60 minutes choose to observe the person who pays, and there will always be 20 minutes people who choose to oppose, people who give up, face adversity. You need to think about 4 things. First, the control in what is happening is partly. I can control is partly beyond my control. For example, today you have to attend a very important meeting, but suddenly it rains heavily. Do you feel very bad? Feel, why is the weather so bad? And then complain and get upset about everything. So what is the right way? You should calmly analyze. The rain is something beyond your control, but leave early to avoid traffic jams late. That is what you can control. Most of what affects our mood are things out of our control that prevent us from doing well what we can control. Second, responsibility. This problem happened last. The same is who is responsible, who caused it. Normal people often have a victim mindset, while good people have a responsible mindset. Suppose you cross the road when the light is green, then you cross the road. The result is a truck runs a red light and kills you. This problem is who is responsible. You definitely say it's the truck's fault. They ran a red light and hit me. I'm not wrong, right? You say it's really the truck's fault. But sorry you died. Understand what I mean? No one has suffered a big loss. Then it's their responsibility to cross the road when the light is green. Shouldn't you look at the necks on both sides of the road? Why do you look for the responsibility of others only to put yourself in adversity? You can't free yourself because you have given yourself a reasonable reason. Many women have their husbands cheat on them, then cry and complain everywhere. He hurt me. I'm not wrong, but that person wasn't chosen by you at first. Why weren't you wise at that time to think that way? What are you still sad about? Next time when choosing someone you will definitely be wiser. More. Besides, he cheated. Prove your value is low. If you have high value you can directly eliminate him, and that's it. Third, the impact of analysis. See how this will affect me. How much damage will it cause me? Is it hundreds of millions or billions or bankruptcy or death? Many people like to exaggerate the problem called panic syndrome. Is it really that serious? There are girls, when breaking up with their boyfriends, they don't want to live anymore, thinking that life is completely over, but in reality he only causes you no damage, no economic damage, no threat to life, at most just makes you sad emotionally. After half a year you will forget that person. Half a year later you will have a new boyfriend. That's nothing compared to your whole long life encounter. Anything that makes you suffer, if you can't overcome it, ask yourself how many more years I intend to live, how long I want to carry that burden. When I feel heavy, let it go quickly. Compared to your life, any suffering is just dust. Wednesday, continuous analysis. See how long the loss caused by this incident will last. Months, years, or a lifetime. A few days ago someone complained to me that the pandemic has greatly affected his business. Very depressed. I asked him, with the current amount of money, can he survive this year? He said no problem. I said, then why be sad? The pandemic only has a temporary impact, even if it affects this whole year. Next year the business will still recover normally. There is nothing to be sad this year, you just do well in online business. Like that is also very good. So many people cause trouble for themselves except for the issue of survival. Everything is just a small matter. Anyone leaves you the pain they cause you is only temporary. Time can erase all the suffering, the things that made you cry in the past. There will come a day when you can speak out and laugh. The key to business lies in the ability to analyze whether the risk is really as serious as you think or not. Most of the things, everything is temporary except death. Be sober, assess the extent of the loss and the duration of its effects. This will help you look at the problem more objectively instead of just feeling miserable. Ask yourself how much control you have over the situation is partly yours. Do not focus on what you can do instead of dwelling on things that are beyond your control. Finally, do not get too caught up in victim thinking. Take responsibility for the problem. This is the way successful people think. They do not complain or blame, but find ways to improve the situation with what they can control. No matter how difficult the adversity is, just keep a positive mindset and be sober. You will overcome. Always awaken the warrior inside, ready to fight and conquer every challenge on your climbing path. How to improve our ability to overcome adversity. First, listen to the reaction to adversity. Suppose you are walking on the street. Suddenly a crazy person rushes up to you shouting in your face that your life is over, you are just a failure. Do you believe what that crazy person said to you? Definitely not. You will think that person is sick, but every day in your mind you are also yelling at yourself with those words, and you also believe those words. You are tormenting yourself with negative thoughts every day, so you have to pay attention to see if there is a crazy person in your mind yelling at you when you realize you are in adversity. Know how to tell yourself, haha, this adversity is here again. Very good. Another opportunity to improve your ability to reverse business. Do not complain that you are useless failure. You are a scoundrel. For example, today you are on a business trip on the road and the traffic police ask to stop to check your driver's license. At this time you just discovered that you have forgotten your I have the same identity papers at home, and in your mind, there will be a voice saying, damn, it's useless. How could I forget to bring my wallet and then call my wife? And I argued, why didn't I remind myself to bring my wallet, and ended up arguing with each other and missed the business trip. But if a different way of thinking, when I discovered I forgot to bring my wallet containing my driver's license, immediately in my head a thought appeared, haha, this cruel guy has come again. Great. There is a chance to improve my coping skills. And then I started taking out my phone to log in to the Ministry of Public Security's identity verification application. Choosing to present the documents, the driver's license and related documents will automatically appear so the check is complete and I can go on a business trip as scheduled. Monday, quarantine. Negative emotions. Our brains often protect themselves by associating with bad things. For example, you need to make a public speech. Right before that night, your brain will appear many negative thoughts. What if I forget the words? What if they don't want to listen? And then you start to worry and complain. Sleep through the night. This is called anxiety disorder or paranoid disorder syndrome. At this time, you need to knock on the table, yell stop to cut off the negative associations of the brain or distract your attention to other things like watching a movie. Hi, listen. to a song or on the spot. Do some exercise movements. Tuesday, do what you can do right now. Nick Vuck has no arms, no legs, but has become a world-famous speaker. Many disabled people often think that life is completely over, but his Nick has started thinking, what should he do? I don't have arms, Tran, but I can say I can inspire victory over adversity for people who have lost hope in life. So he started calling many primary and secondary schools and offered to give a free speech to them after calling hundreds of schools and being rejected. He still persisted calling. Finally, one school agreed. The result of that speech was very successful. Next, another school invited him to give a speech. His reputation grew up and eventually become an international speaker, invited to present in dozens of countries. Everyone in life encounters a pit if you fall into it. It is a failure if you climb out. It is a maturity in the heart. Everyone has a person who wants to give up, a person who wants to experience, and a person who wants to climb. Let's awaken the climber in the heart. Next, I will talk about the secret behind the training of geniuses. Try to listen carefully to the first secret, the great law of absorbing power, quickly absorbing experience, wisdom, knowledge, thinking ability, and working methods of top masters. Then apply it to yourself to overcome the masters directly. For example, ordinary people only learn something after they stumble, while masters learn from the stumbles of others, quickly turning other people's talents into their own talents. For example, if you are just starting a business, find 100 colleagues who have been successful and become customers to experience their products and services if necessary. Become an employee in the field that to understand their business model, then apply to yourself. Success is to diligently copy your colleagues, learn from experienced teachers. With our starting point is their ending point, then apply and surpass them immediately. Life is the result of how you spend money and time secretly. Second, the great method of transformation power. Just absorbing is not enough. You also have to find a way to transform. So the great method of transformation has been lost for many years now, finally restored. To put it simply, when you eat pork, will you develop a body like a pig? Certainly not. You develop a human body, but many people who eat pork only develop a body like a pig. They only copy the superficial method, cannot transform the basic law. For example, now you are taking an exam. There is a question. 2 + 2 = how much? You don't know how to do it? Then look at your deskmate Chu Hong. She wrote 2 + 2 = 4. You are happy, and also write in for this is copying the superficial method. This is the fastest method of success, but not long-term, because when you meet the next question is 4C4 = how much? You are confused again. So what is the basic rule of transformation after seeing 2 + 2 = 4 of you and the version you are studying, and clearly understand the calculation rule behind that? When encountering any addition problem, you can also apply that rule to solve. Is it clear enough? Not all have a principle understanding. A core principle will understand hundreds of other related principles. Transform, but do not go outside the core column. Means you just need to understand the key of cooking to understand the principle of hundreds of different dishes. Meet someone, then transform into that person. Meet something, then transform into that object. Meet anything, then transform into use for yourself. Meet someone inferior, you digest the reason why they fail. Meet someone equal. Let's Guess I compare with yourself, meet someone better, find the effective way to become them. Don't look down on this person, slander that person. Life is a stage, everything in life is a question, everyone is your teacher. Any time you spend on the great law of change will be greatly rewarded at some point. Attract experience is the accumulation of change, is the process of repeating the circle. Polish progress, the process of digestion takes place from seeing, read, thinking, listen to lectures, debate, to the stage of enlightenment. Write, do, familiar, understand, master, change, learn. Start with imitation, first copy, then surpass. Progress, start with practice, first complete, then perfect. Achievement, start with repetition, first run fast, then optimize. The third secret, great law. 9 Yang, divine skill. The secret behind wealth is actually very simple, it's just that the majority of people don't know it, but of the few who know, most can't do it, so only a minority can do it. Become legendary. Dialogue. When I was young, I bought a martial arts book called One Move Winning the Enemy. Today I realize many people are looking for the secret to winning life with just one move. If there really is such a secret, just write 4 words: long-termism. When a person switches his thinking to short-termism, he has won, just that the result takes many years to clearly show the nature of long-termism. What is it? Is the ability to focus on something for a long time. In the process of doing that work, give up entertainment life, give up useless socializing, give up meaningless spending, and in the process have to endure loneliness alone, not understood. Understand that is an ability to self-control and think deeply. Rich people often have the ability to be patient with something much more than poor people, so you will see after success they still work harder than you. Have the ability to endure loneliness better than you. That is because their long-term focus has become a deeply rooted habit. When you see someone with outstanding ability, don't be jealous, just do it 10 years, 10,000 times. You can also do the secret of anything will be easier when doing. A lot of poor people are all opportunists. What is opportunism? Always want a quick win to get rich. These people are very easy to take advantage of because the more urgent you want to make money, the easier it is to be cheated of money. Actually, all the flashy people you see have plowed the country for many years in that field, but they will tell you that they only use 5 methods to succeed, and you can do it too. You believe it right away, but every way to make money quickly will end quickly. Because the faster you make money represents that the less it contains techniques. Anyone can do it. You will have how many competitors? Avoid. The deeper you accumulate in one direction, the stronger your ability is. You can create a strong barrier with others. It is difficult for opponents to defeat. What is a REA? LOY, good person. Even if I tell you the method you can't imitate in a short time, like Hai Lao, you can visit and study comfortably, but no restaurant can copy. You can imagine how deep their internal energy is accumulated. What should you do? Learning deeply sticks easily. I often say a sentence: when you do something in the first 2 years, don't look for profit, just surviving is already a success. Simple, right? But unfortunately most people don't have the patience to seriously read a book. How long does it take to achieve? 10 years or 20 years? I can clearly tell you just 3 years. You didn't hear wrong. 3 years is enough to completely transform and renew your life. Everything in this world is the most difficult at the beginning, then the more you do it, The simpler it gets, but most people give up right at the beginning. Difficult die in the dark before dawn. Miss the bright sunlight. Never overestimate what you can do in a year. Don't underestimate what you can accomplish in 3 years. The important thing is to see who can persistently do simple actions over and over again. Can't swallow an obese person right away, but the person obesity is formed from small pieces of food. The most easily overlooked but also the most terrifying power in this world is repetition, accumulation. At one point, success, accumulation little by little, can last long. If you want a tall tree, you must first stab deep into the ground. You cannot grow up first. Truly excellent people always think by leaps and bounds, but their actions are practical because they know that shortcuts are rare. The best way to reach the destination is to accumulate persistently. At one point, a thin piece of paper folded 42 times, it will be as thick as the distance from the earth to the moon. If folded 51 times, the thickness will surpass the sun. And with 103 folds, it will be thicker than 100 billion light years. That is larger than the diameter of the observable universe. Small water penetrates rocks. It is not the power of water, but the power of continuous accumulation. At one point, one person at a time. When practicing, focus time and energy on one point and persevere can create a huge penetrating force, just like sunlight focused at one point can burn. People in an instant water stream focused at one point can cut steel plate in an instant. Real master everything they do every day, every person they meet, every sentence they say, either related to their current growth or related to their future rewards. Other than that, basically waste time. Most people all their life just because of learning the wrong thing, leading to not being able to reach the top of the food chain. Our content specializes in revealing human nature, control human mind, control human lust, win the trade war. We are the first and only people on this planet to reveal the secret that only when you approach the entire trade war system based on human nature will you truly open your true heavenly eye to grasp the secret of controlling others, so that the people around you help you work to make money and bring you to the top of the food chain.